Hey, Vay.
Given that's how we live it, don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I love you. God loves you best. Hello, hello, hello. You are tuned in to Ronnie P TV. I am yours truly, Ronnie P. And tonight, yes, tonight, we will be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 10, Episode 12. Yes, I am reviewing the current episode. We are on time with that episode. Yes, I am behind in episode 11. Please forgive me. Your girl has been ill. I suffer from an illness. But the good news is I still have my looks. Anyway, let's just get into this episode because they are getting on my nerves. I'm going to do my best to not use profanity, but I am going to just say how I feel. This is going to be more of a commentary and my honest reaction to what I just watched, because it just went off about 20 minutes ago. So it's fresh in my mind. Let's go. Okay, so we got Myka and Michael. First, this episode is all about recommitment, moving in or moving out. That's the name of the episode, but it's all about truths and lies as far as I'm concerned, to tell the truth or to lie it out. But we got Myka and Michael, and the experts that they meet with regarding recommitment is Dr. Viviana, and Pastor Cal. Okay, so this is how I feel about Myka and Michael. I still feel like they're better off apart. While I appreciate their efforts in trying to make it work, the only thing I see good coming out of this is them knowing what they don't want in a partner. That's the only good thing I see coming out of this whole experiment, because that's what it is for them. It's an experiment. But they both talk to the experts, and so Myka sits down with Dr. Viviana and Michael sits down with Pastor Cal. They both are asked, are they committed to seeing things through? They both say that they're committed, but they're asked, what is it going to take for them to stay committed or seeing it through to the end, to the 8-week process. And for Myka, it's all about the trust, regaining her trust. And I absolutely agree. But in return, is she willing to show a softer side of her? And she says that things are put into perspective when Dr. Viviana says, is she a soft place for him to fall? That's fair enough, because she is hard and she can be a bit much. A lot much. And as far as Michael, he needs more vulnerability. He needs more closeness, more affection. He keeps using the word vulnerable, but what it is he's looking for is affection. He's looking to see a softer side of Myka. He's looking to see some type of passion and compassion to let him know that she is emotionally connected. Bottom line. And then they bring it back together, them two, and they talk about them meeting with the experts. And, you know, it's always odd when they go to the screens and I'm looking at their faces and they always look like they're in such despair. And they always look so sad and melancholy. And then you'll see this clip of Myka smiling, but you never see any type of joy in Michael's face. It's always this seriousness or sadness. Then we go on to, I'm just going to go on to Derek and Katie, because this chick really got on my nerves this evening. She really did it for me. She wants Derek to choose between her and his... I'm sorry, my camera cut off. What I was saying was Katie wants Derek to give up his dreams and his aspirations. Well, things he aspires to do, aspirations, for her. She kept saying he has so many, and she kept saying that she wants him to give up some, but what she was alluding to actually was, it's either the dreams you have or the life you want with me. She was proposing an ultimatum, and I didn't think that was cool at all. Like, girl, you got to do better. Then she gets up and storms out and goes in the room and puts it on lockdown, where he has to sleep on the couch. I thought she locked herself in the bathroom like a 5-year-old. And then she kept calling him immature. Like, the whole theme of the episode kind of was like people mirroring behavior and people saying that someone else was doing what in fact they were actually doing. And I was like, instead of telling him to grow up, why don't you take a grow up pill? But she really couldn't see where she was dropping the ball. And she was so stuck on, once again, saying how he's not going to be in love with her within a certain amount of time. Do you realize that this is a person who didn't know you 30 days ago? You haven't dated him. He's a stranger. Okay, so not only are you married to him, but you're getting to know this person at the same time. So you're dating the person that you're married to. And within 6 months to a year, you may hear I love you. You may never hear those words because you may break up before then, just like in any relationship that people have. That's what happened before you came on this show. You didn't hear the words I love you until after you got married. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? And then she feels like, maybe, just maybe, I'm biting off more than I can chew. This is before they meet up with the experts. And it's like, girl, do you realize this is the same person that put you on their insurance? I think that is showing some deep caring. He didn't have to do that. He is taking this commitment very seriously, for better or for worse. So I think you need to really reconsider your priorities and reevaluate what you consider love to be, and see it and know it for what it truly is. Because love is making sure that you have your insulin and your syringes, you diabetic. On to the next. Taylor and Brandon. Taylor and Brandon. Taylor and Brandon. You know, I really didn't see them coming back from all the fool-la-la that they had been through. But we'll see how long it lasts. They meet up with the experts and they sit down and they both state that, well, yes, they both state that they need to see change within the other. They both state that. So there is a mutual agreement and there needs to be change. Okay. However, Brandon's consideration of recommitting is contingent upon change in Taylor. Taylor is telling us that she is committed to trying and making it work, even though just last week she wrote an apology in a card and wanted to say, let's be friends. I don't know how you're committed to be in a marriage when you can easily say a week before, let's be friends. You would be trying to salvage your marriage, not talk about a friendship. But that's when you're on a tit for tat. But they sit down, they discuss it. They both talk about what they talk about with Dr. Viviana and Pastor Cal. Pastor Cal tries to impress upon Brandon how it is important to acknowledge, learn, and let it go. Meaning, acknowledge that the mistakes happened, learn from the mistakes, and let them go. And I think that's something that we can all learn from in life, in our personal lives, and just in things when it comes to significant others, friendships, our spouses, co-workers, whatever it is, any walk of life, we can all learn from that philosophy. And those were my words. We acknowledge, learn, let it go, to sum it up. But Brandon and Taylor bring it together. They hug it out. They make a truce to try it and see what happens. Okay. Now we have Jessica and Austin. Okay. Jessica is getting on my nerves more and more by each episode because now she's stuck. She's fixated on love and what she thinks it looks like and what it's supposed to be and the pretty package that it's supposed to come in because she is so controlling and so pre-planned. I feel like something's in my eye. And we wipe with the ring finger because the ring finger is the weakest finger. Okay. And yeah, Austin is so emotionally sound and level-headed and knows who he is emotionally till it's so refreshing to watch, and it just makes you want to be a better person emotionally. It makes you want to grow emotionally. At least that's what he does for me when I watch him. And when she comes with her erratic, just, oh, I think I love him. I think I love him. But in order for me to say it, I need to hear him say it first. Well, if that's how you feel, if you really, truly feel like you love him, then say it. I've said I love you first because that's how I felt. And it's okay. But if you're fixed on it coming a certain way, then it's really not love, because love isn't forced. And you shouldn't be upset because you haven't heard the words back, because he's expressed to you. Okay, I'm back. If my setup looks different, it's because my camera cut off again. And so I am using my computer to finish recording. The show must go on. Okay, so I left off talking about Jessica and her issues with hearing I love you. If she wants to say it, fine. Um, she shouldn't feel bad if she doesn't hear it back, because Austin has expressed already that he's not ready to say I love you. He's not in that place yet. But he does care deeply for her, and he is in the growing phase. He's growing in love with her, and that is a good place to be in. He wants to have a solid foundation. There's nothing wrong with that. They're only 30 days in. I know she's in happily ever after. She's in a happy bliss of marriage. She's still in the honeymoon phase. It's just going into the first 30 days. So, yeah, you feel that deep affection. And you should. It's great. It's a great feeling. It's full of bliss. It's an awesome feeling. But don't get it confused with, like, if he got cancer tomorrow, stage 4, and was vomiting and had diarrhea everywhere, would you be there? Because again, like Pastor Cal said, it's a choice. People fall out of love all the time. You grow in and you grow apart. You can grow out of it too. You fall in, you fall out. You grow in, you grow out. It's all the same. So I really hope that Jessica does some assessing of where she is in her life emotionally, and how it can affect not only this relationship but other relationships if this one doesn't work out. I hope this one does, but if it doesn't, I hope that she uses this as a flagship so that she can reflect on it to see where she might go wrong. But just staying in the present, being hopeful. I hope she really looks at it and doesn't take it in as he's rejecting her, because he's not rejecting her. He's really being conscious of where they are and being level-headed. And then we have Zach and Mindy. Zach and Mindy. Zach and Mindy. I just want to say Zach is full of caca. He is like, he is the epitome of, like, a bold-faced liar. I want to do everything in my power not to use profanity, because I have a potty mouth, believe it or not. You've never heard it. You probably will one day, but not today. But he rubs me all the ways that are wrong. And Mindy, I have no understanding for her anymore, because she is a glutton for punishment. Like, she is used to being abused. She can take a lot of abuse. I have never seen someone that was so stuck on the word husband to a stranger. You don't know him. And for him to present himself in this manner and you to continue to accept this behavior and rejection from a stranger is beyond me. She just continues to walk into a brick wall, face first. And part of me, as I was watching it, kept saying, is it because she feels like in her real life, because this isn't real life. This is not real life. In her real life, does she believe that she couldn't get someone who looks like Zach aesthetically? Because let's go back to the beginning when the wedding occurred and she was like, oh my God, he's like so hot. Like she just couldn't get over how attractive he was. But he's a douche. Like he's a jerk. I mean, he's lied. He's been manipulative. He's been deceptive. He's been everything but what he's supposed to be. He's been everything but. And she still holds on to the string of the word. This man is my husband, and I feel obligated to try and make it work because I feel like I would be shortchanging myself. This man made up a completely out of the hoo-ha story that you had did something that you know you hadn't done. He was talking to your friend behind your back. And it wasn't all about you. It was barely about you based on what your friend was saying. And I believe her. And trust me, they did not delete those text messages. So there is no transparency. There is no honesty. You can't trust him. And you really should do yourself a favor. Count your blessings. Cut your losses. And get rid of the stress that is Zachary. He is nothing but stress. He is not good for your sanity. He's not good for your health. Like you went through so much stress in your life at one time, Mindy. You had a miscarriage. Did you forget? You lost a baby because you were so stressed out. Why would you put yourself through this again? Never. And I say that because I've been through that kind of stress where it's taken the life out of me. It's caused me illness. Why would I invite that into my life? For the sake of saying, I have a husband. A husband that you didn't even choose. Other people who are subject to flaws and error chose him. Human error is always possible. And while they may have had the best intentions and you want to trust and believe that they paired you for a valid, good reason, sociological, psychological, emotional reason, they could have failed. They could have dropped the ball. And it's okay. You have to have a test error margin. There is no 100% proof experiment. You have to have a marginal space for error. So you all were that marginal space. But she talks to Dr. Viviana and she talks about what she expects and what she needs in order to make this situation work and proceed through with a commitment and be recommitted with Zach. And one is to find out what the text messages were and to see him more outside without the cameras, and for him to be transparent and honest about what was said between him and her friend, and also for him to move in to what was supposed to be their apartment. So Zach does what he feels is his version of meeting those requests. He doesn't move in. He does a slumber party, spend the night, brings a backpack with with the sweatpants and some, changing underpants and t-shirt, just enough to get him through the night and just change in the morning so he can go back to his apartment because he doesn't live that far away. And then he can shower and do everything that he wants to there. He doesn't plan on staying there. That was just to appease her so that he can stay on the show because he needs his camera time. Yeah. So what I think is that Mindy, needs to just let it go. She needs to really open her eyes. I think that is coming sooner than later, but it's gone on too long. It's gone on too long. I would love to know your thoughts, and I would love if you left your comments in the comments section below on this episode, because I still feel like Michael is a compulsive liar. He is just the biggest liar. There was someone, I was watching this with a classmate of mine tonight, and I brought up a person that we knew growing up, and he was just a compulsive liar. Dated a girl that we knew in high school. This classmate is actually older than me. He graduated before me, but we're really close, and we just got a good kiki. And he wasn't really avid watcher of this show, but I got him sucked in, so he's like, I gotta go home and finish watching this episode now, and that he did. So I'm glad that he was able to get into the said drama of Married at First Sight, and I'm so glad also that I was able to get this review up, even though I had to stop 3 times to get it finished. But I am so glad that I'm back and on time for episode 12. I hope you enjoyed this recap and my commentary and my thoughts. Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of the couples and their views on commitment, the word love, especially with Katie and Jessica. Let me know your thoughts on how Mindy is accepting the minimum that Zach is willing to give, the none that Zach is willing to give. Like Pastor Cal explained, we have to set the standard. We as women have to set the standard, and if we don't, men will set one. And somehow she knew that that message was meant for her spirit, and she received it. So I'm so glad. Again, leave your comments down below. Thumbs up this video. Don't forget to like, share if you care, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. to my channel, and I thank you. That was a little dry, but it's okay. I got it out. I am going to get up episode 11 too, and don't worry, I'm still going to post episode 11. I have to do some final editing, but I am going to put it up for your viewing pleasure. If you enjoyed this video, you can go ahead and click over here to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to watch more videos like here, you can go ahead and click over here. And I thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, bye.